Pappy, let's talk it out. What's it like? What's life all about? Oh, Pappy, say your piece. Laugh at yourself, slap your knee. Pull up a chair, it's time for Pappy.
Happy Hour. Your hosts, Lucas Buddy and Eric Thompson. Ready for that riff?
Hey everyone, we're improving the studio, the video, the audio so we can keep showing up to give you a great show every week. Thank you so much for your support. The GoFundMe link is live in the show notes. And guess what? Here we go.
All right, Happy
Capital,
Hour, guys.
Oh man, capital P purpose.
Capital
We
P
talked to
purpose.
Steve Gardner today. This episode is it's another long one, but I honestly, great conversation.
Oh my gosh. And which is one of the things that he strove to be as a young person, was an interesting conversationalist.
He nailed it.
You're going to get it all.
Absolutely.
And 4 kids to share about, and lots of trials and tribulations,
Yeah.
lots of joy.
He went through it, but he's
and amazing.
He got through it, and
Yeah.
we're still going. So you guys enjoy this conversation with Steve Gardner.
Yep. Thanks. Hey, let's
Cheers.
do it. Cheers.
Hola, mi amigo.
Hola, Steve. We figured it out.
All right.
Lined up.
We are exercising our parental superpowers
Expertise.
and figuring stuff out.
Just like parenting, this
Just
call
like
should not
parenting.
go well.
100%.
How are you this morning, my friend?
All good.
Good.
All good.
Tell us, so let's just start right off the bat. And the reason you're here is because you are a dad. You're a pappy. Tell us what makes you a pappy. Tell us all about your kids. Anything you want us to know.
Okay. Well, so I'm kind of on the other end of this parenthood, motherhood thing, because my kids are all older. So I've got a 27-year-old daughter, a 25-year-old son, a 20 and an 18-year-old son. And so my daughter actually is an attorney out in California.
Oh, wow.
My 25-year-old is in law school at University of Minnesota right now.
Okay.
And then my 20-year-old is still here in Kansas City. And then my 18-year-old's in college up in the Quad Cities area, a couple hours south of Chicago.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are very much on the other end of all of this. So I get to be introspective and retrospective. And, I get to even ask my kids, in what ways was I a good dad or a bad dad?
Right.
Have you asked them that question? Is that something you've asked them before?
I'm too scared to ask.
It's a scary question.
It is.
It's a scary question. Like, I know if my parents asked me that question, I'd be like, can we, do we have to have this conversation right now?
Yeah, I
As-
know.
as my-
I actually, I have asked them, just individually along the way.
Yeah.
And usually what I'm most interested in is, I'm always like, so what are the big moments of your childhood, the things that happened that really set with you and really like maybe guided you or took you down a path that you maybe weren't headed down before?
Nice.
And the thing I noticed repeatedly is they were never the things that I thought they were.
Interesting. Right.
And so, because we as parents, like, we're always sitting around going, oh, teachable moment.
Right.
Oh, this is going to be really good. They're going to learn this powerful lesson. They
Can you
never
give an
knew any of that.
example of one of those moments that?
Where you're just
Well-
like, oh, I'm espousing so much knowledge right now. And they're like, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So, it's not even so much like the specific examples,
Right.
because I've blocked all these things
Yeah.
out.
Sure, as you do.
Because I choose to remember that it was because of all these amazing parenting things that I did.
Yes.
But no, it was, oftentimes it was like something happened with a friend.
Yeah.
And that was a kind of a really big deal.
Right.
There certainly absolutely were times and there were things that happened, and we'll get into some more of the story later. But, one of my kids had a lot of illnesses and still dealing with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that experience, which was a very long term, like literally it's been an 18-year battle.
Wow.
That's one of those things that certainly changed my other kids
Sure.
in big, profound ways that I just didn't think about at the time.
Interesting.
Well, you're all kind of going through this journey together, but separate at the same time. So it's sometimes you got to ask those questions to find out what maybe they were actually going through at the time.
Yeah.
Before we get going too far down this road, and I'm so interested to hear more about that, take us back a little bit and tell us
Who was Steve before you were a dad, which was, a couple
A
years
little while
back.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been 31 years ago. No, actually, 31 years ago is how long I've been married. So,
Yeah.
we had kids for 27.
Yeah.
So, basically, I was a sales guy. I was, new to the workforce. I was kind of just figuring out where I was going to go in life and what I wanted to do. And my original sole goal graduating college was that I wanted to be an interesting conversationalist.
Perfect.
And so in order to do that, I figured, well, I needed to live an interesting life and go do interesting stuff. And so that was kind of where I was at. So I'm like, okay, well, what are some cool things that I can go do? And, I actually had met my wife in the lobby of the Louvre Art Museum.
Wow. Okay. So there's interest part number one.
Was that was it a movie meet cute kind of moment? Did you spill something?
Unfortunately, so she doesn't remember meeting me there.
You left quite an impression, obviously.
Yeah,
so.
it was not a meet cute. What it was is I was over there with my best friend, and we were just touring around Europe. She was on one of those big group tours.
Okay.
And so we kind of came together very briefly in the lobby of the Louvre. We did meet there. I'm going to keep telling her we really did.
For real.
But then, so that night, a group of us, because Americans sort of gravitate towards each other over there. So a small group of us got together and had dinner on the Champs-Élysées and went down. And of course, in the high style manner that we were living, we went to Chicago style pizza.
Yes, of course.
And so we chatted a bit more then, and a little bit on the walk home, and then the next day we spent a little bit of time. But that was the end of her trip and the beginning of mine.
Wow.
Or, I'm sorry, reverse that. It was the beginning of her trip, end of mine.
And you're getting ready to go home. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she lived in Kansas City with me.
Oh my gosh.
A little bit else to her, the beginning of your journey together.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, like we always joked that we needed to stay together because the story was so good.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And, and then obviously, yes, we got married 4 years later and have had kids and all that sort of thing. But going back to it, like that was a part of my interesting story. It all began with my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then I subsequently did a bunch of crazy and wild stuff. So I was just trying to figure out what this interesting life might look like.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously she found you to be an interesting conversationalist.
Or at the very least, I was a very good salesperson.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yes, as my wife calls me. Yes, my wife calls me false advertising. So, yeah, I'm just like, all right, I can sell anything.
Yeah.
I've been married now for 30 years. Yeah, this works.
So you guys, so you were just trying to figure out what it meant for you to live an interesting life, trying a bunch of different things. So you guys get together. What did you guys continue that pattern of living it? Because you said it was a couple years before you guys had kids.
Yeah, well, so here's as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story.
Yes.
So when we met, I was 21 and going into my senior year of college. She was 17 going into her senior year of high school.
Okay, gotcha.
So, I maybe shouldn't say that on this podcast. I don't
so we'll
know.
Cut out whatever you want.
Yeah, but it's, so hopefully the cops don't come after me.
No. I think you're past. You guys made it.
Yeah, so we were not in a rush to get married by any stretch, and truly we were very casual for many months, and then started exclusively dating. And,
Gotcha.
But she needed to get through college, and so we weren't in a big rush.
Well, and you're probably like going, okay, well, so this is I think I'm really in love with this individual. I got to get my career going so that we can be comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's what I was doing. So I was kind of diving into the workforce, and I'm one of 4 kids, and I love my siblings to death, and we're super close, and we'll touch on that too. But I knew we wanted to have kids, and I just sort of had 4 kids in my brain.
No kidding! Wow,
that's sort of the target, but. And she and I talked about it, and she was, generally amenable to that number of children as well. And,
all right. Now, did she also come from a large family? Well, I mean, I consider 4 large, but
yeah, she has two sisters. But, Yeah. So we were generally in agreement, but it also was one of the things, as we all know, those of us who have had kids, after you have the first one, you're like, oh my Lord, I cannot do this again.
No kidding.
Yeah, my wife's
and then
still
you
there.
and then you have a second one and you're like, oh, this is even worse.
Yes.
And then you have a third one and you're like, okay, now we're out of man-to-man defense and we're shifting to zone.
Totally.
And then you add a fourth and you're just like, what the heck? Everybody into the pool. Let's just go.
That's so funny. I remember listening to Jim Gaffigan say, it kind of going, hey, my wife and I had just had another child or had a child, and the crowd is, uproariously cheering. And then he goes, well, it's our fourth, and it gets real quiet. And he goes, basically there's not a lot of cheering for people with four. But he just goes, it's like having four kids is like, imagine yourself drowning and somebody hands you a baby. So,
right. Right.
That overwhelm. Oh my gosh. Four kids.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it has been absolutely tremendous and amazing and wonderful and challenging and sad and happy.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you guys have made it 27 years and are still like upright is a testament to your strength and stick-to-itiveness.
Right.
So,
did the pregnancies go real easy? I mean, sometimes if they go smooth, people have more kids. I just wondering.
Yeah, so well, for me, the pregnancies were quite simple. I don't know what the deal was, but no, my wife she definitely did not feel great.
Okay.
It wasn't, she wasn't on bed rest or really having really significant issues, but she definitely did not enjoy being pregnant, like some psychotic women do.
But she's like, Stephen, we're going to do this again?
Overall, pretty good.
Good. Okay. Oh my gosh.
So 27 years ago, you find out for the first time
you get to be dad.
You get to be a dad. How did she break the news to you?
It's really funny because we had some friends over for dinner and we didn't know that she was pregnant at the time, but we had some friends over for dinner and she mowed down a plate of pasta and chicken like I had never seen her do before. My wife is a tiny little one.
That's so funny.
And she just mowed down so much food, and that evening, we were both going, wow, you really ate a lot.
Went for
that
it, kid.
I don't know. I feel like something's going on inside.
Yeah. And we were trying. So it was, sort of in the back of our brain. It was an effort going on.
Oh, my gosh.
And then she took the pregnancy test a couple days later. Well, actually, it was about a week later.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I think we knew that night.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I really wasn't becoming too concerned with your overeating, but it was in the back of my mind. Maybe you're pregnant.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to get you some stretchy pants for Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
Just buy 2 pairs. Why not?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Too funny.
So she told me, and, look, it's one of those things like, so I've jumped out of airplanes, and if I'm talking to somebody who has also gone skydiving, there's not much of a conversation that's needed because we both get it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like we both experienced that rush of going 180 miles an hour, standing on your head, screaming through the air, and then having a parachute pop open. Being told you're a father is very similar to having not jumped out of the plane yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what that meant. I mean, I knew conceptually that meant that there was a little baby in her.
Right, right.
That child would be born. But I didn't like that. It didn't register with me in any profound way.
But you're still sitting in a perfectly good plane with the door closed, going somewhere, and you're just like, okay, cool, great.
Yeah,
they haven't yet opened the door and allowed the atmosphere in.
Right, right.
Yeah. Or to put more appropriately, the plane hasn't blown up while you had a parachute on, and you were lucky enough to be as you were tossed and tumbled.
Yeah, that comes 9 months later.
Yeah, one more plane.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So how was the moment you going, oh man, Stephen, we got to get to the hospital or whatever the choice was? How did that part of the journey go?
Yeah, well, so a little side note. So we actually got her it was a flip phone.
Okay.
And we got our first cell phone because she was pregnant.
Sure.
And I still remember getting that cell phone and being like, why on earth am I going to call people? Like, seriously? I'll wait till I'm at the office. I don't really see what the big deal is.
Oh, my gosh.
But anyways, I got a call when we were in a meeting, and I was like, oh, it's happening. Okay. I'm out.
Now I get it.
Yeah. So just ran home, picked her up, and it took a little bit to kind of get things going.
Yeah.
But she called me at it was probably 2:00 in the afternoon, and she wound up having our daughter about 10:15 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. So relatively, like from a lot of the stories we've heard, that's kind of
pretty quick.
Kind of short.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
How long did it feel?
Well, it felt totally fine to me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you were just this is great.
There's a good theme
I'm
here.
chilling, I'm like, hey, honey, I'm going to have the nurses help me out. 'Cause I need a minute there.
I can't seem to find the channel changer in this room.
Yeah, I know. Can you what about my needs?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
This is really selfish of you. You're doing a lot of screaming.
I know.
But I can't.
I know.
I'd like some ice chips too.
Wow.
Thank you.
So, how did you stay so calm? Like, what's your secret? Are you just internally stuck?
Nah, my wife just grabbed my hand and crushed it really hard. And
Yeah.
it kept me
There it
focused. But no, it was. I mean, it was a fairly smooth delivery, and even in comparison to our later ones, it was fairly smooth and went pretty well. I mean, obviously, yes, it's painful, and yes, she's not enjoying herself. But my wife is the woman who gets really quiet.
Okay.
And she's just like bearing down, so she's not screaming at me or anything like that.
Okay.
But she's staring intently at you, going, "This is your fault."
It's like, you were both jumping out of a plane together. You just look at each other and like you kind of get what the other one needs.
You brought the parachute, right? You brought the parachute.
That's right. I did.
That's so funny. So go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, what was it like? So it goes smooth that first time. You're not a dad, and then you hold this kid in your arms for the very first time.
Yeah,
there's a transformation that happens right there. What did that feel like? What went through your body and your mind at that time?
Yeah, it was it was an entirely alien set of emotions and feelings and thoughts. Because like you can intellectualize all you want about what it's going to be like, but that moment of holding my daughter for the first time,
oh my gosh,
just completely changed the entire world.
Right.
Like literally everything. And like we talk about that kind of stuff, and it sounds trite and cliched and whatever, but the human experience, so much of it is really, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but so much of it is really droll. It's just basic. Like we just kind of live our lives and we do our things, and we watch a game and we hang out and we do whatever. But there are moments where it is punctuated with just, for me, incredible clarity of what love really is.
That's great.
And instantly, like I knew that this little girl meant more to me than anything else on the planet.
Yeah. And and I think that's one of the greatest things that I love so much about doing this cast is it is universal, that feeling for everybody, and it's nobody has said otherwise. It is just such a stunning moment, right? It just absolutely it brings so much together, and you're just like, whoa! So this is real, man. This is unbelievable.
It takes everything inside of you and shakes it and goes, all right. This is different now.
Well, I think in a lot of ways what it really is capital P purpose. And you don't feel capital P purpose very often. You feel lowercase p purpose. Like, I have a job, and I'm trying to be good at fantasy football and whatever. Like, those are all lowercase.
Totally.
And most of our lives are lowercase p purpose. But this is capital P.
Yeah. Well, and so thinking of that purpose, did that instill something different in how you were doing life at that time?
Not so much.
Okay.
Like from a day-to-day perspective, other than of course not sleeping and other little stuff like that does happen. But it created for me an ever-present reminder of what I'm doing everything for.
Yes, right.
Yeah. And why I'm here on this planet. Now it's like I want to be a good husband, of course, but now I'm like, I'm a dad. Like I have to be a good dad.
Right.
Like that was my take on it.
Yeah, it makes me think about every choice that I make every single day. And she's only been, I mean, you have an 18-year-old and I have an 18-month-old, so I don't really even know what kind of war zones you've been through. But even in 18 months, this little human being has brought so much laser focus on choices that I make. And honestly, like I was working before to be more emotionally intelligent and dealing with all of my stuff. But now, I don't know, just because of that capital P purpose, things feel heavy, but they feel like I'm carrying this load for a reason now. And so it feels like lighter in a way, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's, to me, it's sort of the same thing. Like if I'm training for the Olympics in, whatever the sport is, like every day that I'm training, I know the Olympics are coming.
Right.
And like, there's a purpose to every step I take, to everything I eat, to everything I do physically, all that sort of thing. And like parenting is the same thing. Yeah. It's just that the Olympics are not going to happen for 20 years.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Boy, those opening games though.
Yeah. I know. They are.
So you've got your daughter, and next comes a son. How did what was that feeling like? Did you have that capital P, the same size, hit you again? Or was it a little bit more soft, or was it, oh boy, I'm going to do this again?
Yeah, it was. So it was from a capital P purpose perspective. I sort of felt like that was just there now as a father. Right. So that's now my role. Okay. But I will tell you, man, having a son. Yeah. And we didn't know what we were going to have. I love it. Okay. We hid that on these first two. Okay. So we didn't want to know, and part of it is because they can be wrong.
Right.
And we didn't want to have the first emotion out of your body is like, oh crap, I was expecting a girl and we got a boy. What the hell?
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. And so we didn't know with either one of them.
Nice.
But father-daughter, like that was so special to me. But then father-son, it's like, because like I'm a boy, I know what this kid's going to be going through in a lot of senses. And I could relate to him instantly in ways that I was only learning to relate to my daughter.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so for my son, it was like, I got a boy. Like, that is so cool.
That's so fun.
And now we had sort of the rounded out. And on the other two, instantly, we did not find out, or we did find out what they were, because at that point it didn't really matter.
Right. Yeah. You already got both of them. So
we got one of each. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Well, you also had a bit of a gap between 2 and 3. Yeah. Now, was that a purposeful thing, or was just like, hey, you know what? Let's do this again.
Yeah, no, we did have a miscarriage right in the middle of it.
Sorry to hear that.
And that was rough.
Yeah.
She had the whole DNC and everything else attached to that. We were about, I want to say 4.5 months along.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so that definitely that kind of took the wind out of our sails. Sure. And our big kids, our first two, were old enough, like they got it on some level. Yeah. That mommy was pregnant with another baby, and then she wasn't.
Right.
So that was rough.
Isn't it amazing though that kids do pick up on that?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when just Nathan was so young, and we had to put our cats down. But he got so quiet, he recognized the gravity of what was going on in a sense, and it was really interesting. Because I wasn't expecting. I was like, gosh, we're going to have to try and keep him quiet. He's got to do this. But he was so tuned in to what was going on in that family dynamic. That was really cool, just a connection aspect.
And I would kind of argue, I think kids at that age are so extraordinarily in tune with mom and dad's emotions.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That like we as adults, we suck at that. We don't really get in tune with other people's emotions very well.
It's too much. It's too exhausting.
Yeah,
because sometimes our capital P overseeks everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's and I don't even. It's not even really a criticism. It's just like you can't be totally emotionally in tune with people all day, or you will not make it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because that's a lot, but I do think that the kids, when they're so little, like they're not that far from being the little baby in the womb anymore, so they check in on that, and so
are you saying that like how we respond as parents is so important in those times because they don't have the ability to kind of figure it out on their own. They're just kind of getting cues from us.
Yeah, because they can't intellectually process it.
Sure.
I mean, let's be realistic. Like death is not something that anyone really intellectually processes all that well.
Yeah.
No. But you get the idea when you're an adult, like, okay, that person died. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But the emotions, everybody grieves differently.
For sure.
Where kids are just pure emotion. That's all they are.
Yeah, exactly. And big emotions too. Now your third child has arrived. Your kids are old enough to be able to talk and share with you. You've got a 7 and a 5-year-old and a newborn. Oh, yeah. What was their conversations? Were they? I can remember Nathan saying, okay, Ryan can go back to his mommy now. It's like I'm done with this experiment of having a brother.
Like between the kids.
Yeah, that was really pretty funny because my daughter, and to this day, all of her brothers absolutely worship and adore her, and she's awesome.
Oh, that's so great.
But she just kind of took on a little mini parenting role with all of this.
Wow.
So she was super excited, and she definitely would have liked to have seen a girl come along. And actually, on the 4th, when number 4 was born, or when we were finding out what number 4 was. We had all 3 kids there. My third was still too young to participate, but we were like, okay, guys, we're going to find out whether it's a girl or a boy. And they say, okay, it's a boy. And my son goes, yes. And my daughter goes,
totally.
Dang it. She was kind of hoping for a girl, but
that's so funny.
The only girl and the oldest.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Bless her.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
So did all those? So all 4 of them? How vastly different the experiences were meeting those kids. Was there anything in there that comes to mind that you want to talk about, like a moment that was maybe a defining moment for you as a parent?
I think the only one, like my 25-year-old, his birth got a little hairy there because the umbilical cord got wrapped around his neck at one point. And so we sort of had that little emergency where the doctor's going, okay, we got to get him out.
Yeah.
And so it's time to move and all of that. When all of that starts happening, you're kind of like, oh,
right.
Now this gets scary.
Yeah. For sure.
And so that experience was that was the one birthing experience that was very different.
Yeah.
And then the only other kind of interesting note, I guess, on my 4th, we hadn't decided what his name was going to be. We had it down to 2 different potential names. And so when he was born, I got to hold him first.
Yeah.
And looking at him, and I didn't remember this at the time, but my wife reminded me a little bit later. Looking at him, I go, I think we're going to go with Timothy because he looks like he's a little chess player.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is he actually really got into chess later on. And in fact, is like one of the highest rated chess players in the world right now. So,
Steve, you can spot him, man.
Yeah, so I nailed it.
Nailed it.
Look at my picture. What do you think I should be?
You need to keep figuring it out.
You're
okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
You're not out of the oven yet, buddy. You're still baking.
I've been cooking for 42 years. Anyway, all right,
that is
guys,
great.
Whatever. So you've been a dad for a long ass time, man. What has life been like since? I mean, tell us everything.
Yeah. Well, so one of the big stories. So I alluded to it earlier. My third born son, Josh, he's had a lot of medical issues, and that turned into a real significant shaping event for us as a family in many ways, and I'll get to all that in just a second. But the one thing I will say that we did that I think is one of the best decisions we ever made as parents is when my wife got pregnant with our daughter. From the very beginning, we were immediately like, okay, we're going to go take some parenting classes and we're going to read some books. And we just got on the same page with how we were going to parent and what was important to us and what our priorities are and what our values are.
Yeah. And
so we had all those discussions early on, and we really did get on the same page.
That's fantastic.
And so, we never had the mom against dad arguments. The kids just always knew that, hey, if mom says something, dad says the same thing.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And, so we never had those games. So it really, we wanted to have an overarching philosophy as to what it meant to be a parent. And so we put that in clear. Doesn't mean we didn't make any mistakes, because we made plenty of them.
Yeah, right. But you know what? But even with the mistakes, you're like, okay, we realize that didn't quite work out, but we're still on the same page. It didn't divide you guys in any way, and that's really something.
Yeah.
Was there something that you was like, whoa, this is our target right here? Was there something that you guys found that this is what we really need to commit to?
Well, there were a lot of things, but one of the things in particular is we were really, really committed to doing everything we could to make sure that they, as siblings, were really tight and really close.
Cool.
Oh, wow. How'd you do that?
Yeah, well, and so I had grown up. I've got 3 siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, and we still do sibs and spouses weekends and trips together. And we absolutely love each other and love hanging out.
That's great.
And we're super, super close. They are my best friends.
Cool.
And so that was very very kind of the model of what
I was going to say. Yeah, perfect.
And so, sometimes it was like, and this may sound a little counterintuitive to some of the dads out there. I always thought it was important that my kids have secrets from me that they would keep with each other.
Yeah.
And so
say more about that.
Yeah, so we really wanted the kids to just be super tight.
Yeah.
The first thing that we did, my big kids, we had a decent sized house, but we actually had my big kids sleep in bunk beds in the same room.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And so my son and my daughter were they were roommates,
right,
for a very long time, even when they didn't really we had an extra room. That changed as we kept adding kids.
Right.
And so there were all these experiences that they got to have growing up with each other because they're just in proximity to each other.
Wow, the strategy of that is, hey, listen, you guys take note out there. If you want your kids to be close when they grow up, force them to be close when they're younger.
You're one of my favorite things.
And the fighting, that's a part of it.
Sure it is. It sure is.
Yeah, let them figure it out. We don't need to solve every problem.
Right.
And
they'll be better for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And literally from the earliest days, my oldest 2 have been best friends ever since.
That's incredible.
And my youngest 2 are best friends, and we got the 5-year gap in between. But again, they, everybody loves each other.
That's cool.
My oldest son and middle son play video games pretty often. Whenever my oldest son is not dealing with law school.
Right.
But all my kids are really tight with each other, and that's been a real intentional thing. And we're like, hey, mom and dad aren't going to be here forever,
right?
But you siblings are,
right?
You guys got to take care of each other.
Yeah, you got to take care of each other.
That's one of the things we tried to do that with our boys, and it's so fun to watch them interacting as adults now, and just going, oh my gosh, All right.
Yeah.
Well, if something does happen, they got each other, and we're very excited about it. But it's funny how you talk about the connection of your two oldest, because they're basically they're housemates and roommates, and if they have an argument, they still have to go into their own beds, but it's in the same room. They've got to get through it. But I can remember my sister and I used to connect through our heater vents. We'd just be up in the middle of the night just chatting through the heater vent because it was just on the other side of the wall. It was great, just talking about mom and dad. Just go, oh yeah, they did that. Can you believe it? And so we'd have these secrets and so if something was going on, we could giggle and they'd be like, "What is so funny?" Oh, nothing. It's just our thing.
Well, and we really wanted, when the kids were young, we didn't want to have any extreme reactions to things that they would tell us, because if we shut them down once, they will never share anything with us again.
That's true. Yeah. And you only get so many, you only get one first impression with these kids, because then it sets their pattern really quick of like, all right, this is safe for me to talk to mom and dad about. This is not. Yeah.
I think that's where Chris and I have been fortunate in that the boys have shared with us. Sometimes more than maybe we want, but they know that they can do it, and we're not going to
it's frequently more than we want.
Totally.
Did you ever have a problem with snitches when they were growing up? How'd you deal with that?
I will tell you, for whatever things we did or didn't do, my kids do not snitch on anybody.
All right.
Like they are. They are a steel trap.
That's great.
Perfect.
So it does not get through, and we know that, and we're like, it's cool. That's fine.
Totally.
Keep it to yourself. That's totally all right.
That's great.
Just know that we're here for you if you want to talk about it, and we're here to support. And my daughter got such a kick out of, we'd be around her friends, and she loved to talk to me in front of her friends about her period.
Oh dear!
Because,
wow.
Like I didn't have a lot to add, but I was like, hey, I want her to be able to talk to me.
Sure.
But there'd be a lot of dads that you talk to. Like, I know if I even said the word period in front of my dad, he'd hang up the phone. So the fact that you normalize the ability for her just to talk about it and not squeam, just be like curious. I think there's so much weight in curiosity when it comes to our kids, and even just relationships in general. Just leading with curiosity instead of judgment or whatever else.
Yeah. Well, and it's easy to respond with judgment and anger and whatever. Because, come on, you guys are being idiots. But I think as parents, one of our big responsibilities is to remember that these kids are kids. Like they are emotionally not developed. They're not mentally developed. Like there is nothing about them that is fully formed.
Right.
And so if you have expectations that they are going to react logically and reasonably to everything, you will be disappointed.
You will be.
Yeah.
So
hopefully they figure it out before they're 40. But
hopefully.
But when they're 12, 16, 20, they're still figuring
it out. Without a doubt.
And but I really want the kids to know consequences to actions too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when
the stakes are low, right? Yeah. At the house when things are safe. Like this is the time. This is the time for you to mess up.
Right.
Like I want Stella to fall. I want her to sit on the edge of the couch and try to drop off and lose her balance because that's how she's going to learn. I don't want her to be 18, and fall off a sidewalk.
Never taking a risk. And,
Take the risk. Go for it. It pays off.
So, go ahead. Did you have something else you wanted to add there?
Yeah. So then I was also going to kind of come back around to what I had alluded to earlier and sort of the big story of our life that definitely impacted our kids in a lot of different ways was the health of my now 20-year-old. And so when he was about 1, he started falling off the growth charts and was having a lot of difficulties and throwing up 10 or 12 times a day and terrible diarrhea 10 or 12 times a day. And like literally didn't have the energy. He'd fall and he just didn't have the energy to stand up.
At what age did this start?
This is 1.
It started at age 1. And then over the next about 14 months, we were taking him to doctors and hospitals around the country and going to conferences and just trying to figure this thing out, because we were going into hospitals and meeting with doctors and they were like, we don't know what this is, but he's going to die and you guys have to figure it out.
Oh my gosh.
And so we were sort of thrust into this very heavy experience. where we really did have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my wife's dad is a doctor or was a doctor. He just passed away a little bit ago. But he was really instrumental in helping us kind of figure out what all this was. And so at the end of the day, he was ultimately diagnosed with this rare immune system disease, which an oversimplification of it is his body attacks all food as if it's a parasite.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And so internally, he's like, his body's at constant war with itself.
Totally.
And
what was do you remember the name of the?
Yeah, so it's a long one. It's eosinophilic gastrointestinal disease. Okay. And then he had a rare version of that, which it's already a rare disease. Yeah. We, in fact, eventually went out to Denver Children's Hospital, and that's where we found a kind of a clinic that specialized in it.
Wow.
And they were really helpful in a lot of ways. But anyway, so we had sort of this perpetual gloom hanging over us of our kid may not make it, and it's really challenging, and mom and dad are stressed out, and the kids are feeling it. Yeah. Sure. And then after the diagnosis at 26 months, we eventually got him onto a feeding tube, his first feeding tube, when he was a little older than 3. Wow. And that was an NG tube, so it's just like through the nose, and he wore a backpack that had a little pump in it, and it pumped out this amino acid based formula, which basically the body just didn't recognize it as food because it is truly like it is not food. And so for the first 3 years, he when he would quote unquote eat, it was a cup of ice. Wow! And so that was the only thing that he could eat. So
even after he gets like teeth and all this stuff, and he's just a normal kid. I mean, at the time, I mean, how can he even understand what's going on at this time?
Yeah,
he still has the other milestones going on too.
Right. And so we got into the hospital that first time to get the NG tube in, and like my wife and I are both exhausted. It's been,
and you've also added another kid into the family during this time too. Yeah, and we
added another kid in the midst of it all. But like we're pretty exhausted. We go to the hospital. They put the NG tube in. There's some other stuff they need to train us on. And then we get home that night, and Josh comes over to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I want some food." Which up to that point, bacon was the last food item that he had been eating.
Oh wow.
And I was like, "I'm sorry, buddy, you can't. But here's your cup of ice."
Yeah.
And so he grabs it and is kind of pouting, and he goes over and sits down on the couch. And my wife and I go back to watching making dinner.
Yeah.
And without our awareness, my big kids, who at the time were 10 and 8, my big kids come into the kitchen, grabbed their own cups of ice, and went over and sat next to their little brother.
Oh my gosh!
And
wonderful.
just ate ice.
Oh my gosh!
And my wife and I turn around and see this. Yeah. And it's like snot bubble, ugly cry.
Yes.
The most beautiful. These kids at the youngest ages. Wow. I mean, the hearts that it's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. And trust me, there's a tale to that I'm going to get to.
Oh, my goodness.
So we turn around, we see all this, and we're devastated. But I will tell you that, like, for me, it was God said 2 things to me in that moment that were clear as day and as obvious as anything else that has ever happened in my life. The first thing was this new normal. We're going to have to figure it out, and it's going to be really hard. And it was, and it has been, and it still is in many ways. It's been a hellacious battle. But the second thing that he told me is, if you're open to it, there will be beauty along the way.
Yeah, love it.
But you're going to have to proactively look for
seek it out. Yeah,
that's the thing is you got to be open to it, right? You got
and it's easy to get. Yeah, it's easy to get shut down on, especially when you're going through difficult times like that. So, and I will say, like, going forward, my son had all kinds of difficulties, and we did almost lose him multiple times over the years. And it's been a lot. But let me kind of put a tail on that story, because I think it's really important, because in the moment you never really know, again, like, what are my kids learning?
Sure.
What is their experience of it? Because like, as parents, you're devastated and you're just trying to function. But my daughter, I mentioned she's out in California, and she's a public defender.
Okay.
And she is a public defender because that girl cares about everybody and wants to help anyone who is hurting.
Yeah.
Because she lived alongside her brother all those years growing up. Oof. And she saw how much pain that he was in and everything that we did to try and help him, oftentimes failing. But she got so in tune to that she just wants to help hurting people.
Yeah.
And so that is a passionate thing for her.
Yeah.
And it formed who she was.
For sure.
My oldest son, is very into, pro bono legal work. He's excited about doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And because he also really wants to help people who are hurting. He's a super analytical, logical kid who is, a little bit Spock-like, a little non-emotional.
Keeps the emotions very tucked away.
Yeah, he keeps it checked. But man, he is very focused on justice and doing the right thing. Period. But so here's the real tale to the story that I think is most interesting. So my son Josh, so he is off food for 3 years. Then we literally started doing single ingredient food trials. So you try one ingredient, you try it for a week, you see how his body reacts.
Right.
And if it's good, you keep it in. If it's not good, you take it out. Right. And so we were just doing these trials for years. He finally got the feeding tube removed when he was 14. So he had it for 11 and a half years, a little bit longer. Yeah. So he had his first piece of pizza at 14.
Oh my gosh.
Because complex food is a different deal for him. It always was really single ingredients. So here's this kid. He has a very interesting relationship with food because he didn't get to experience food the way everybody else does. So he actually got into the culinary program.
I was just going to say, has he become a chef? Is that what happened?
Yeah. So he went into the culinary program in his high school, took his high school team to the state championships where they won it.
Oh my god!
And then took his team to the national championships, and they took 5th place nationally. Wow! And he's very much on the chef track. He was the number 4 chef at arguably the best restaurant in Kansas City.
Oh my gosh!
I wonder what not tasting food for 14 years does to your palate.
Oh my gosh!
Are you just the most hypersensitive? Like you just taste.
And for
everything?
him, it's a texture thing.
Okay.
So he has different experiences with the texture of food and flavor combinations.
Oh my gosh!
Because of the way he was raised. So more than anything, like the big message that I always want to share with parents, especially who are going through stuff, you don't know the end of the story.
Right. You don't.
And it's really easy and by the way, reasonable to get upset and freak out about stuff that you're going through because, by the way, it's sometimes really hard.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And it kicks your ass.
Wow.
And again, I could tell you a boatload of stories that are not happy stories.
Right.
But we have the unfortunate disadvantage of only living in reverse. So we can only look at what happened yesterday.
Right.
We don't know what's coming down the road. And so I can now fast forward and go, but man, those times were brutal. Trust me. I didn't enjoy them while I was in them. I think my wife and I did a pretty good job of managing it and keeping everything afloat and all that sort of stuff. But it was really brutal in the moment. But I look back on it now and I see how those really difficult times formed my kids and who they are. Yeah. And all 4 of my kids just love each other and they're really good, kind people.
Wow.
Yeah, and it makes me think of a phrase that I heard like probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it's a broken heart is an open heart. And I heard that in a time where my heart had been broken by a couple of different things going on in life, but the more I see life and experience and hear stories, the more that phrase seems more and more true because people who go, and it's not always, sometimes people get broken and they just stay broken for a long time. And that is some people's journey. But very often if you take those pieces and you pick them back up and you say, all right, what's next? You just go forward with a much more open and curious mindset, and it's beautiful people.
Well, And I think as a parent, we labor under the false assumption that things are just going to get better every day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, our kids are just going to get smarter and cooler and better to deal with, and we'll be a better parent. And
wait, that's not what happens?
But it's not. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I hate to be the bearer of
Sorry,
bad news.
Lucas.
But like for any of us, and I learned this interestingly enough at a conference that I was at when I was about 24. There was this guy who basically said, we think that life is this linear improvement, and where we go to school and we graduate and we get a job and then we find the girl and then we have kids and everything is just better and better and better.
Right.
But when you actually plot out the major events in your life, it's a roller coaster.
It is for sure.
And it always is.
Yeah.
There are different types of roller coasters depending on where you're at in life.
Yeah.
And things impact you differently at different times of life. But our life is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And one realization that I came to quite a while ago is that when things are going really well, I'm pretty convinced it's because I'm brilliant and amazing. And that's not the best place to be if you actually want to grow.
That's true.
And so when I get my butt kicked and I'm on my knees and I'm like, I can't do this, I don't have the answers.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'm learning.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty true for most of us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Steve, this has been, just incredible story after incredible story. I'm so grateful. We're so grateful that you did the show and shared these with us and with everybody listening. And is there anything you want to add at the end here? I mean, I know we're going to try to get a dad joke from you in just a second, but is there anything that maybe because I wonder, is this something your relationship with your kids and your wife and these 27 years of parenting journey, you seem so dialed in, and I wonder, is there a deeper story, maybe what your relationship with your family was at the driver because you wanted to continue on there, or was there like a little mode for a lot of us dads that we talk to are like, I wanted to do it a little bit different.
Yeah. There is definitely a very specific driver. I mean, as a parent, like all you really have are your parents as examples for the most part, especially if you have kids a little earlier in life. So when I was 11 years old, my dad died in a car accident.
Dang.
The night that he died, and this is, of course, back in the day before call waiting and cell phones and all that. My parents had their line and us kids had our phone line.
Yeah.
My mom was on the phone. My dad called in to say he was running late. Her line was busy. So he called the kids line and I answered it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And he said, "Hey, buddy, I just wanted you to know that I'm running late, and would you please let mom know?"
Oh, boy.
I said, "Sure, no problem." And then the last words he ever said to me were, "I love you, goodbye." And the last words I ever said to him were, "I love you, goodbye."
Oh, wow.
And he was dead 90 minutes later.
Jeez.
So,
I mean,
that experience will grab you.
At 11 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So you had to grow up pretty quick there.
Yeah, very much so. But also that specific event of the night that he died was such a huge blessing for me because he didn't know he was going to die. I didn't know he was going to die.
Yeah.
But we stripped away all the crap and like he could have whined about, why is your mom on the phone?
Right.
There could have been other distractions and other stupid stuff to argue about or talk about. But it was just very simple. I love you. Goodbye. And so in my family, love you bye is one word.
Yeah.
And we say it every time we hang up.
Yeah.
We say it every time you leave the house. We say it, sometimes I come into your room twice in 10 minutes and I'll say, love you, bye.
Yeah.
It is obnoxious how much we say it.
Yeah.
And a lot of my kids' friends have been like, man, you're he just said I love. Like, why is this? Why do you guys do this all the time? But that's what they do too.
Yeah.
My brother Adam, a while back, he kind of struck it into me because I guess I was on the phone with him and I hung up and I apparently didn't say I love you. Dude calls me back like immediately and was like, bro, is there something you need to say to me? Or, he was probably a little more straightforward than that, but yeah, you just never know. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So I love you. Bye. I love that. I'm going to adopt that myself.
Yeah. So that was very much of a guiding principle for me. And in terms of, what kind of a dad do I want to be?
Yeah.
I don't ever want my kids to question whether I love them.
Right.
I don't want that to be an issue because I know that is a massive part of the parent-child relationship. Yeah. Do they feel loved? Do they feel safe? Do they feel supported? Which doesn't mean do they feel like you agree with everything that they do. Because you don't, and you won't.
Right.
All of my kids have stuff that I'm like, well, that's kind of stupid, but whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And trust me, they all have opinions about me.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Stupid.
Right.
Because that's how life works. And it's all good.
Oh, man.
But, so it really is major in the majors and minor in the minors.
Yeah.
And the majors are what kind of relationship do you want to have with your kids long term?
Yeah, for sure.
And begin with the end in mind. So like every day, if you can keep the big picture in mind, like, hey, my kid is being an idiot today. Well, yeah, he's 13. Like, give him a little bit of grace.
Yeah, give us some grace. You got
13 is synonymous with idiot.
Yes, totally. It's one and the same.
So.
My daughter won't use words, but she's 18 months. I just have to keep her mind. I'm just like, tell me what you want. I don't know what you're pointing at. What does that mean?
The day is coming when you will be like, stop
it. Yes, exactly. I don't have an answer for everything. Oh, man. Well, I'm really impressed with just the resolve of your entire family and your life as well. It's extremely impressive, and it's. There's some really great things that you've shared that I think a lot of dads and moms and kids listening to it would just go, okay, that's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
Yeah. Steve, what's your dad joke?
Okay, so I actually have two different ones, and so I'm a little bit perplexed as to which one I should do. But so the first one, there's a little bit of a story behind it. My uncle was the king of the dad joke.
Excellent.
And he just passed away about a month ago. But like literally, you could not say hello to him without immediately having a joke hit you.
Sounds like my uncle. I love it.
Yeah, so I actually did the eulogy at his funeral, a month ago, and at the end of it, I said, nothing about my uncle would be complete without finishing with a dad joke. And so the joke that I used at his funeral was that last week, the inventor of the throat lozenge died. There was no coffin at his funeral.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What was the delivery of it? You set him up? You said, "I'm gonna tell a dad joke."
Oh man.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because again, like everybody knew my Uncle Ron. Like he was the king of the dad joke.
That's so great.
So I was like, I can't eulogize this man without doing a dad joke.
And then you've got another one. You say you've got a second one too.
Yeah. So the other one is not exactly a dad joke, but it's my favorite joke.
Okay.
Hit us.
And so this elderly couple walks into the bar and they sit down at the bar, and the man turns to the wife, says, honey, 50 years ago, this is where it all started. And she goes, yeah, I know. That was pretty amazing. And he goes, you remember when we were sitting over there in that booth and you remember what we did? And she's like, yeah, I remember it. And he goes, so do you remember what we did out back? And she just looked at him and goes, yeah, I definitely remember that. And he goes, well, hey, 50 years, you want to go repeat that? And she goes, yeah, I think I do. And so they kind of shuffle off and go back to the back. And the bartender has overheard all of this. And he's sort of a little bit perplexed. But, shortly thereafter, he has to take the trash out.
Oh, boy.
So he goes out the back, tosses the trash, but he looks over and the man has got the woman up against the fence, and it is just like wild animals going at it. Like just crazy, wild, passionate.
They
and he
in
like
their 70s at this point.
Yes, and so he tosses the trash in and runs back in because like this is embarrassing. So shortly thereafter, they walk back into the bar and they just look spent, like they got nothing left.
As you would, yeah.
As you would, and she shuffles off to the bathroom, and then the man sits back down at the bar, and the bartender comes over and he goes, "Look, man, I apologize. I did not mean to walk out there, but I saw what you guys were doing, and I have to ask you, how on earth do you keep the passion in your marriage after 50 years? Like, that's incredible." And the man just looked at him and said, well, 50 years ago, that fence wasn't electrified.
Oh, my gosh. Yes,
you got
sir.
A little extra power. That helps.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So that's my joke. And then here's, because I have a lot of stories about a lot of things. So here's the really funny part about where I got that joke. So I was in the agent game for a long time. So I worked with a lot of celebrities and pro athletes and still do a fair bit. Anyways, I got that joke because I was sitting in the green room before an event, me and 4 other people. One of the people was Bill Cosby.
Oh, my gosh.
And that joke was told to me by Bill Cosby in 2004, I think it was.
Wow.
So this is way before any of the allegations.
Right.
Yeah, scandal noted.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, he was quite the brilliant comedian.
Stunning.
I still quote himself to this day.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's always complicated. And actually, the other angle on that one. So I was there. We did a little photo op, and so all these people ran through and took pictures from the line with Bill. And the photographer is snapping away. And at the end of that, the photographer goes up and is sort of like, hey, I'd like to get a picture with you too. You're one of my heroes, blah, blah, blah. And Bill pulled him into the green room for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
And sat down and poured into this guy. He was probably a 35, 40-year-old black man.
Yeah.
And he clearly just worshipped Bill.
Yeah.
And Bill spent 15 minutes pouring into him and asking him what kind of a father is he.
Wow.
And what is he doing with his kids?
Wow.
And how is he preparing them for the rest of the life? And so I watched Bill pour into this guy
Neat.
with great advice and really wonderful ideas.
Wow.
And it's a powerful reminder that none of us are perfect.
Yeah.
Some of us have much more significant challenges, shall we say, than others.
Right.
No one is just anything. I mean,
but even if we're not perfect, we can still do something well.
Right.
So if we're not the perfect dad or the perfect parent, we can still do parenting well sometimes.
Yeah.
And just keep trying, man.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Oh, Steve, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, this is just tremendous.
Super honor for us. It was a great conversation, and we hopefully will be able to see you soon and maybe catch you guys can scream at each other at a Chiefs game.
Right. Hey, I'll get we'll also get your address so we can get you, sir.
He already texted it.
Oh, good. We got the T-shirt on its way. Yep, we got medium. We're all there.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we are all good.
Oh, man, beautiful. Stephen, thank you so much. What the absolute treat for us and listeners. Cheers.
Back at you.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
You only get one spin around this rock. You only have so many days until it stops. And how you show up for your kids, well, that's your superpower. You might not know it now, but this is your Pappy Hour. Pappy Hour, let's talk it out. What's it like? What's life all about?